to kick things off, I kind of want to read a segment from your intro, which I just really
Okay.
adored this. You said,
Thank
no,
you.
yeah, yeah. No matter how much we learn, we'll never know everything, and that's okay because it's much more fun to keep an open mind and keep learning and discovering new things about ourselves and the world around us. And just to kind of chime in on that, I remember when I was a younger fella, I had this whole perfectionism thing, and I
Mm.
felt like if I wasn't perfect at something, I wouldn't even try, or you see what I'm getting at? And I just feel like
Totally.
that's such an important message, especially for the young witches out there. So, can you kind of expound upon that quote?
Yeah, I mean, like yourself and like so many students I work with of every age, from the youngest to the eldest, perfectionism runs rampant, and it's a spirit killer. It takes all the joy out of everything. And so I thought if I can somehow instill the beauty of curiosity and wonder and allowing ourselves to enjoy the process of learning in people at a younger age, or really at any age, right? It's so helpful, right? It allows us to, like you said, try new things. Whether it's an art class or it's a dance class or it's to learn about herbs. You go in and you're like, I don't know anything. Well, of course you don't know anything,
You're
right?
just
You're
getting
a
going.
student. You're learning, and so yeah, that's my expounding on that. And I definitely suffered from perfectionism for the longest time. And I highly don't recommend it. I recommend composting perfectionism and instead opening to experiencing and learning and allowing, I have so much more fun now that I'm okay to look foolish. You know,
Did you say composting
I
perfectionism?
did. I did.
I remember in our first interview, I want to say you said it then. You said something about you're an herbalist, but you're also a writer. And that's one thing I've noticed about you. You have such a way with words. I want to say when I was reading the book, you said you don't like to use the term invasive plants. You use pervasive, and I thought that was such a fun mindset shift. But kind of going
Thank
back to
you.
absolutely going back to the perfectionism topic, I remember even when I first started getting into herbalism, which was I was probably about 18 or 19, so I was a little bit older. But that was the same thing as I feel like when I first got into herbalism, I really felt like, oh, I have to know all of these facts about the plants, but that's
Yeah.
not necessarily the case. It's really more the joy of connecting with the plants and learning as you go. So that it kind of made me
Yeah.
think about that as well.
And being whatever kind of herbalist you are, like I know it's
Mm.
so easy to get intimidated rather than inspired, right? Sometimes if you like somebody who might inspire you, if you were open to just being you, not them, right? It opens you to inspiration
Mm.
because it's like there's certain herbalists who do have an amazing grasp of let's say pathologies and or Western medical pharmaceuticals, and so they put that into that's how they do their herbalism. How they offer herbs to people, whereas I do it completely differently. You may do it differently than that. So it's also about learning, you know who am I authentically? And that is really a key theme I'm sure you saw runs all through this book is how the plants help us become ourselves because
Mm.
they are each so themselves. Dandelion is dandelion, doesn't try to be oak.